Mikael Månsson, we see that you're on now. We have a little problem with to connect our friend from Egypt. Will you be ready to go in and make your presentation now? Please unmute.
Yes, hello. Well, I think I can join in and take my presentation now if
well, that would be very
suitable.
kind of you. Thank you. Very, very kind. Good. Well, I've shortly introduced you before, but I'll do it again. Mikael Månsson is from Enercon, and what you will talk about will be onshore medium wind.
Yes, correct.
Yes. The floor is yours. Please go on.
Okay. Not sure if I can show my presentation in
You should press at F5.
Yes, I have done that.
And it's on it's on the screen now.
It is.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Well, do
right.
you have an external screen or something like that?
No, I just have my laptop.
Okay. Yeah.
But you can see the presentation. I understand.
Yes, we can.
Okay, good.
Okay, you just go on. Thank you. Could be the presentation mode.
Yeah. Doesn't seem that I can get this working as I expected, but anyhow, a brief presentation about Enercon and what we can offer as of today regarding medium-sized wind energy converters. Short few facts about Enercon. As you may already know, we are headquartered in Aurich in Germany. We are present basically all over the world with roughly 30 international sales offices and a number of national sales offices in Germany. We have a wide global service network with over 360 service stations, whereof, as I'm sitting in Sweden, I will also tell a few more detailed facts about Sweden, and we have 16 service stations in Sweden. And our office, which is hosting sales and service in Sweden, is located in Malmö. That's where I'm sitting normally when I'm not working from home, as many of us are doing now during the COVID-19 pandemic. We are roughly 50, 60 employees in Malmö. This is changing basically every day, and we are hiring a lot of people in Sweden currently because the Swedish market is very important for us. Shortly, Enercon's market share in Europe. This picture is showing onshore and offshore 2019, and Enercon is one of the larger players in Europe. Vestas is by far the biggest one, but we are on a shared second place, you could say, together with Siemens Gamesa, and Nordex is also a very large colleague in this business. If we look at the global picture, Enercon is not that large, mainly because we have had a huge focus on the European market and especially the German market. This picture is showing just onshore installations. So to continue with our portfolio and also showing a bit of what we have done so far. Worldwide, we have a little bit more than 30,000 wind energy converters installed, 53,500 megawatts. In Sweden, we have 703 wind energy converters installed and roughly 1.2 gigawatt. These figures are updated as of September 2020. Our product portfolio is developing continuously, and today we have turbine sizes ranging from the 1 megawatt class, as we call EP1, up to and including the EP5, which is then a 5 megawatt turbine size and upwards. As I said, this is continuously changing and evolving, and therefore I've marked in red a number of turbine platforms here which will be discontinued in the near future. And at the top, I've also put in the EP6, which is the next coming turbine size. And as the market is continuously asking for larger turbines and the development of low wind sites, that's where the development is heading. Larger rotor diameters and increased hub heights. But as you can see, we are still keeping the small turbines, what we call small. What during this conference is mainly talked about as medium-sized turbines, namely the EP1 or the 1 megawatt class. And that's what we are focusing on in today, and what I will focus on in this presentation. The EP1 class or sub megawatt class, we will have two models remaining, the E44 and the E53. If we look at this class and what we have done so far, we have done quite a lot. If we look at the discontinued or the old WEC types in this class, we have installed more than 5,300 WECs during the years. And of the current products, the E48, which will be discontinued, as I said, we have installed more than 2,000 WECs, whereof a bit more than 60 in Sweden. And of the ones which we will continue to sell and install in the near future, the E44 and the E53, we have installed more than 800 E44s and 1,600 E53s. So these are very important products still within our product range. there's a number of markets and locations where these smaller WECs are still, if not required, they are very useful. So if we go more into detail, looking at these two turbine types, the E44 is a wind class 1 machine. In other words, it's suitable for high wind locations, and I will show you a couple of examples later on. And the E53 is a low wind turbine, which we can see is very well suited for locations along, for example, the Swedish coastline, where we have very often we have limited allowances regarding tip height, and sometimes also other limitations in permits restricting rotor diameter size, for example. I will have a few slides with more details. I will not tell you all and every detail about these turbines, but I will share this presentation afterwards so you can dig into it on your own. But what I would like to point out is that these two turbines, E44 and E53, is both based on Enercon's technology, which has been proved since long. It's the same direct drive converter with a 3-blade rotor as we have used since many years, with active pitch control and variable speed operation. In the case with the E44, we are today providing two different hub heights, 45 and 55 meters, accounting for a total height of 67, respectively 77 meters. I can also say that these two small turbines basically provide the same kind of technology as we do in our larger platforms. So it's not a turbine or WEC type where we have selected to provide less functionality or technical features. We can basically provide the same kind of options as we do on the larger turbine types. The E44, since it's a wind class 1 machine, it can sustain higher mean wind speeds and also maximum wind speeds. We sell both of the E44 and the E53 with our proven storm control system, which allows for continued operation at high wind speeds. In the case with the E44, the storm control kicks in at 28.5 meters per second, where the turbine is ramped out until it reaches 34 meters per second, where the turbine is stopped. But the storm control allows the turbine to keep on producing even at these high wind speeds. The 53 then, which is a Class S turbine, typically is adapted for low wind speed sites and is today offered with 3 different hub heights, 50, 60 and 73.25 meters, accounting for total heights of bit more than 76 meters, 86 meters, and 99.7 meters, which keeps it within 100-meter total height, which is on many locations along the coastline, especially in Sweden, a requirement. Storm control is also a feature on the 53, as I said. To show you an overview of the nacelle, you can see in this picture we have the generator, the large diameter ring generator, which is divided into rotor and stator. And everything is housed basically in the nacelle. Common for both of these turbines, and also, as I said, most of our other turbines, is the gearless drive system. It's a proven concept and a concept that has, since many years, provided Enercon with a very high technical availability, and for many years the direct drive turbines were leading in that area, and still is. It includes very few rotating components, and the mechanical parts which can wear out are very few, like bearings, for example. This concept leads to a very high technical availability, as I said, but also reduced maintenance and service costs, with basically no components being necessary to exchange or replace during the operational lifetime. There is no gearbox containing oil, for example, and this has sometimes also been a question on some sites and in front of some customers. Active pitch control, of course, and Enercon's indirect grid connection, or our grid feed system. You can read much more about it further on. Our rotor blade design for the E44 and E53 is an in-house design and also in-house manufactured since many years. The rotor blades are made of a composite design of glass fiber, reinforced glass fiber epoxy resin design, and also including aluminium and balsa wood. But the design is aiming at high power coefficient and extended service life, low noise emissions, and efficient use of material. A special feature for which is visible on the rotor blades of the E44 and E53 is the improved rotor blade design, where the inner part of the blade extend all the way down to the nacelle, catching more wind than previous conventional shaped rotor blades did. very basic description of the grid management system, where the picture shows how the generator is connected to the grid through the grid feed system, and where the electricity produced by the generator is fed via rectifier to the inverter, and then via a filter and transformer to the grid. It's a very brief description, but I hope it gives you a general view on how the grid feed system works. I'm not an electrician, so I won't go into details about it. A couple of cases I wanted to highlight. If we talk about the E44 and E53, and in this case the E44, we have successfully installed a number of these turbines on a very harsh place, beginning in 2012, and the latest, most recent turbines are installed this year, 2020, and we are talking about a number of E44s installed on the Faroe Islands. Why I wanted to mention the Faroe Islands is because it's an extremely harsh place with very tough wind conditions for wind turbines. It's an onshore site, very much offshore. And on the Faroe Islands, we experience very high annual mean wind speeds, and also high maximum wind speeds. On some places, we have 10-minute mean wind speeds exceeding 40 meters per second on the south part of the Faroe Islands. We have very good experience from these turbines operating on the Faroe Islands, which is a good proof that the E44 as a wind class 1 machine can basically be utilized on the toughest places. Lastly, since this event is taking place in Denmark, I also want to highlight that Enercon, which have actually been absent from the Danish market during many years, we have successfully now installed our first wind turbine installation in Denmark at Torrild Vindpark. 3 E82 turbines, so it's not an E53 or E44, but a slightly larger one. But I wanted to mention it that we have now taken the step to establish us on the Danish market. So with this, I want to say thank you for letting me participate in this event, and thank you very much. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I hear. I'm sorry we had a short cut out, but thank you very much, Mikael. It has been a pleasure having you, and thank you very much for your presentation. I'm sure there'll be some questions for you, but I have one, because with the new coming Green Deal from the EU opens up for community power and small cooperatives, and there is a demand for smaller medium wind turbines. That means 800 to 900 kilowatt might be in the high end of medium wind. Do you know, you used to produce, well, I think down to 50 in the past, but maybe 200, 300, 400 kilowatts. Will that be a possibility in the future that Enercon can deliver such machines?
To be honest, I don't think so.
Okay.
The overall market demand today is for much larger turbines, and I must say I'm still happy that we can offer the 800 to 900 kilowatt size in our range, and I would like to say that among the largest providers of wind energy converters in the world, these are still considered very small by today's standards.
Well, we know that, but during this conference, we have seen from all over the world that people are interested in smaller because there's no grid which is strong enough to take the big ones. So therefore, the small ones, they are actually interested in it, and therefore, I would. There is a demand, and of course, if the demand is big enough, it might be an opportunity for you to take up the production again. But I don't know.
Of course, I understand, and I mean, as you say, if the demand would be big enough, I don't say that we rule out anything. I mean, we still have, basically we have the drawings available, and possibility to produce smaller turbines like the E30, for example.
But what we see is that there is a gap, that there are not really any products in the market from 200 to about 500 kilowatts. So there is a gap there, and there is a demand in this range.
I understand, and I think this is just because the overall market requirement has been for many years focused on larger turbines and increased size of turbines, and maybe now lately, as you say, there seem to be again a growing opportunity for small, medium, or large, small wind turbines. And I think this is something, even if I haven't been able to participate in the complete event, I've dropped in now and then and had a look. I think it's interesting, and I will for sure bring this information back to our head of sales, and we will keep an eye on it, of course.
That's good.
So if there is a real demand, we will certainly try to follow it.
But what we see is that now the Green Deal from EU has opened up so that cooperatives and others, small villages, can go in and put up projects and have priority before the utilities. Because for the past 6 or 7 years, it has only been utilities which has been prioritized. And therefore, what we see here and what we hear, there was Jutta Paulus from the European Parliament, who actually was with us in the opening ceremony here, and she came into it, and it seems as the European Commission anyhow will go very harsh into it, and if that can do that, we can open up the market for smaller, medium, or 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 kilowatts machines. I think that will be very good, because these can be owned by the local people, and also they are not that visible in the market. That means that you will have the acceptance again for onshore wind, which has been a problem with the too big machines.
Again, we are living in a world which is changing now and then, basically every day, and the Green Deal will for sure bring new input to the market. So, as you say, we need to look into it and see how it develops. And I, for sure, don't want to rule out anything and any development. And it could be that this is a new opportunity. Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you very much. We have got two questions from Louis. Do you have a question, please?
Yes. Well, thank you for your presentation. And my question was if in the past there was a wind diesel solution from Enercon, and my question was if it was still alive, if it was still on the portfolio of Enercon. Thank you.
I know what you're talking about. The island solution was or is a proven concept, and I would like to say that we haven't at all given up on it, but it's not marketed today as a separate technical solution. But we can still do it, and of course, if we receive inquiries, we can for sure revert back with a proposal.
Okay, thank you.
And then Samad Mohammed, you have a question too. Samad, are you with us? I'm not sure. Samad Mohammed, are you with us? Please press on the mute button.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Good.
I want to asking. Yeah. Hi. I am from Bangladesh. We want to work in wind energy sector in Bangladesh. We have 120 kilometer longest sea beach, so we have a good potential business in here. If any company interested to work with us, then how could we work together?
I can basically just say that we have, or I have colleagues taking care of your market, and if you could just send me your contact information, I can put you in contact with my colleagues responsible for Bangladesh, if that's an appropriate answer for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Mikael. It has been a pleasure having you here, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who's been looking forward hearing your presentation. Thank you very much, and I hope that you will be on and off on the webinar as well.
I will.
That's very good, and I hope also that you get something out of it, because
absolutely. Thanks a lot. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to participate.
Pleasure having you here. Pleasure. Well, it seems that the presentation about military application has disappeared from the program due to unavailability of the speakers. We'll see if new time slots can be found. Else we'll find some way to find a solution to deliver these presentations. We are sorry for that, for the inconvenience. Sorry for that. But that makes that we will have a bit earlier break today. So I think we should take the break now, and then we'll meet again at 12:30, and that means Central European time. That means in about 34 minutes from now. So, bon appétit.